When the first generation XC90 was launched, it was a game changer for Volvo. It was safe, practical and offered space for 7, and it was just the type of car the public were beginning to demand. So can the new version be as good as the original or even better? The XC90 is the first car developed by Volvo since the Chinese company Geely took a controlling interest in 2010. Built on an entirely new platform, the exterior is still unmistakably a Volvo, with clean and purposeful styling and a very large Volvo grille. It is also slightly longer than its predecessor and measures just under 5 metres. Inside, the familiar family-friendly 7-seat interior is plush and very luxurious. A portrait-style touchscreen similar to a tablet computer in the centre console controls all of the key features within the car, making it virtually button-free. It is also very simple to use. Throughout, the cabin is modern, spacious and uncluttered. It is also, unlike many rivals, a genuine 7-seater. The third row of seats is not only simple to access, but it can comfortably accommodate adults. On the road, it is beautifully refined and super hushed. The previous version was known for the very comfortable armchair-like seats, and it's exactly the same in this one. It is also a very large car, and it feels it on the road. It doesn't feel quite as large as it actually is, but it certainly doesn't feel like a small car. That said, though, it is very smooth and comfortable to drive. If I had any criticisms, it would be the steering is slightly too light and the automatic gearbox is just a tad too slow in terms of reactions. In terms of engines, there's only one diesel engine to choose from. It's what Volvo call their D5. It's essentially a 2-litre diesel that produces 225 bhp and 470 newton metres of torque. It's all-wheel drive and yet manages to be very economical. It returns just under 50 miles to the gallon, or 5.7 litres per 100. CO2 emissions are 149, so you're going to be paying about $390 in tax per year. But that is very economical when compared to rivals. It's the sort of figures you expect to get from front-wheel drive. Price-wise, the XC90 doesn't come cheap. The starting price is $70,950. Now, this is the top of the range. There's 3 trims to choose from, and this is the top of the range, so it starts at $76,950. On top of that, Volvo have added almost €10,000 worth of equipment, so the list price of this car in particular is $86,780. As expected from a Volvo, this car is incredibly safe. Volvo made a very bold claim in 2008 when they said that nobody would die in a Volvo by 2020. Now, they've rolled back on that slightly and they've allowed for freak accidents can happen. But what it does demonstrate is their sheer commitment to safety, to keeping you safe as a driver and all of your passengers. So this car is crammed with all of the new safety aids and a host of collision avoidance detection systems. One particularly interesting one is one that in the event of the car going off the road, it will actually tighten the seatbelt of you and all of your passengers, literally bracing you for a collision. The XC90 is one of the most impressive cars I've driven this year. It is beautifully refined, it's safe, and yet it still remains extremely practical. Just as they did 13 years ago, Volvo have set new standards for safety, comfort and interior design. With a price tag of over $70,000, it's not going to be within the price range of many families. But if you're one of the lucky ones with a budget that will stretch that far, it would be very hard to recommend a better family car. Geraldine Herbert for Independent.ie.